To use the units of measure, UOM, and units of measure conversion features in Cetec ERP, you must first set up the UOM units that you want to utilize. Open Cetec ERP and click Admin. Then Maintenance. Then Data Maintenance. Search for the units of measure, UOM, Data Maintenance table. Click into the UOM Data Maintenance table. To create a new UOM for use in your system, click Add Record. Then type a name for this UOM, as well as a description. To save your changes, click Submit. Next, in order to teach Cetec how two different UOMs relate to each other, you'll need to set the UOM conversion. To do this, click Maintenance. Then Unit Conversions. Once on the Set UOM Conversions screen, click Show Create. Now you can set a UOM conversion. Select the first unit of measure. Then select the second unit of measure. In this first example, we're creating a UOM conversion that is not specific to just one part, so we'll skip the fields on the second line and just click Create. You'll see that the UOMs we just entered appear together on a line at the bottom of the screen. Our next step is to tell Cetec how they relate mathematically to each other, in other words, how to convert from one UOM to the other. Since, in our example, we're converting from yards to feet, I'll enter 3 in the first field to indicate that 1 yard equals 3 feet. The second field is auto-filled for me. Cetec has calculated that, if 1 yard equals 3 feet, then 0.3333, etc., yards equal 1 foot. To save this conversion, click Set. Now let's create a UOM conversion that is part-specific. You'll recognize these steps from our first go-round. We'll return to the UOM Data Maintenance table by clicking Admin, then Maintenance. Then Data Maintenance. Find the units of measure, UOM, table. Click into it. Add a new UOM called Set. Now we'll set a UOM conversion to determine how Cetec ERP should convert the set unit of measure to the each unit of measure, and vice versa. Click Maintenance. Then Unit Conversions. Then click the Show Create button. Select the 2 units of measure involved in this conversion. This time, we're creating a unit of measure conversion that applies to a specific part only, since we buy the part from a vendor who uses the UOM each, but we want to record this specific part in our inventory in sets of 10 parts. So, for this conversion, we'll click into the drop-down for PRC Part Specific, and select Part. In the PRC Part field, start typing the part number and then choose its name from the list. Click Create. Set the conversion rate. We tell Cetec that one set equals 10 each of this part, there are 10 parts per set. Cetec automatically does the other piece of the conversion for us, setting 0.1 set is equal to 1 each of this part, in other words, one set has 10 individual parts. Save your changes. Use the global search to find the part for which you just created the UOM conversion. Click into the part record. Click Edit. And set the UOM for this part. In our example, we'll choose Set as the UOM because we want to keep track of this part in our inventory by set. Click Update. Click View. And note that the UOM for this part is now showing up as set. Let's see how our new UOM settings play out in the purchasing process. Click Purchasing. Then P quotes. Then New P quote. Let's create a new purchasing quote for the NEU 2000 part and see what happens. After entering the header information, we'll enter part NEU 2000. We'll enter a quantity of 10. And we'll enter a unit cost of $100. We'll save our changes by clicking Add. Note that Cetec has auto-populated our unit of measure as set since that is the default UOM for this part. However, we know that this vendor sells the part with a UOM of each. So, we'll edit the line so that our purchasing quote tells the vendor we want to buy 10 each of this part. We verify that the unit cost is correct. Since I know that the vendor sells the part at $100 each, not $100 per set of 10, I know that this cost has been entered correctly. Click OK to save the change to the UOM. Now the line correctly shows that we will be purchasing 10 each of this part from our vendor, rather than 10 sets. After converting the purchasing quote to a purchase order, we'll receive the parts from the vendor. When we click to receive, Cetec shows a window that asks us to confirm that, although we ordered the part with a UOM of each, we want to receive the part with a UOM of set, with quantities that match the UOM conversion we created earlier. We confirm this choice by clicking the orange Set button. A message appears, confirming that the unit cost/quantity has been converted from each to set. Notice, also, that the quantity has been changed to 1. Click Receive. When we click into the purchase order line receipt, we can confirm that Cetec received the quantity of this part as 1 set, and that the receipt cost was correctly recorded. Now you know how to create and assign units of measure, how to set unit of measure conversions, and how those carry through the purchasing process in Cetec ERP.